Well, good evening, good people. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. I'm trying to figure out, do I like this? Where it's kind of like it's dark. I feel like I'm Darth Vader or something, like I'm stepping out of the darkness. Okay. Alexa, turn on bar lights. Is that better? The blue lights? Or do you like it better in the shadows? Okay, so here's where we have some great news. We've got the rookie minicamp going on. Players are getting their helmets and their numbers and trying on the shoulder pads and everything else, meeting all the coaches, learning where everything is, and finding out that they got to pay for lunch. That's right. The Dallas Cowboys charge them, whether they eat at the facilities or not, a food charge monthly. Yeah, he gets nothing free at the Cowboys. Great news is the Cowboys are actually hard at work. They were the very first to get their rookie number one draft pick signed, $22.5 million deal. Of course, it's 4 years and $13 million signing bonus. This is easy because everything's slotted. So it's just like, here's the numbers. This is what you got to work with. Get it done. And so we'll see exactly how the numbers work out on the salary cap. But I'm betting that it will be about a total of about $7 million it'll cost them to sign all the rookies, if it's going to be even that much. I would love to see them get all of them done. That would be actually incredible to get them all done this weekend, get that out of the way, and get Micah Parsons done. And then find me a wide receiver. Now, what may happen as far as the wide receiver goes, for teams, if they're going to make a trade, it behooves them to actually make the trade now because the draft is over. You're not going to get any picks for this year, is to make them post June 1st, because that way it'll lessen the impact of the dead money that's left on it. So it may be another month or more before we get anything solved as far as another wide receiver. And, of course, the talking heads will love the speculation on that one because, of course, they've got us linked to every receiver that's out there. But Donovan Ezeiruaku, I've got to learn how to pronounce his last name, but I really like Ezeiruaku. Here's what might be kind of crazy. I think I pointed out that we have not had two double-digit sackers on the same team since like 2011. Yeah. In fact, we've had very few 10-sack players other than Micah Parsons over the last few years. And this year might just be the best edge rushing that the Cowboys have had. You got Dante Fowler, who's coming off 10.5 sacks last year. You've got Donovan Ezeiruaku, who had 16.5 sacks last season. Let me say it again. 16.5 sacks last season. That's insane. He had 21 tackles for a loss. And how this guy fell into the second round, I still don't understand. But I want to introduce you guys to him. This is a clip from the Dallas Cowboys of our new edge rusher, Donovan.
The Cowboys wanted another dog on their defensive line. Well, they got one in the second round. Donovan Ezeiruaku,
Who let the dogs
grew up in
out?
Jersey, but a Philly fan. So I've got to start with this question: is you said that your family was a Philly fan as well growing up. Did they finally throw out that gear?
All that's gone. All that's gone. I got an uncle who is a Philly fanatic, and he's going through it right now because he got to throw away all his Philly gear in his man cave downstairs. So, yeah, it's serious.
Now that you're in the building here at the Star, how much has it finally sunk in that you're going to be wearing a star on your helmet?
It's pretty cool. I think I'm still kind of processing, so like, being grabbed, orientational stuff, I guess. But it's pretty cool actually being here, seeing a little bit of the practice. I'm excited.
Brian Schottenheimer said about this class is that you guys are all competitive, you guys are all leaders as well. What's the vibe amongst this rookie class?
Just exactly that. You could tell us, we got a little edge to us.
Like that.
Edge. But it's been pretty good though, because we seem kind of cool, filling each other out, things like that. But it's been good.
I like what you said there about playing with an edge. You certainly played with one at Boston College. You were physical, played the run well. When you talk about the stat line for you, 16 and a half sacks, 65 pressures. What is the Dallas Cowboys getting from you?
Yeah, they're getting just that. Somebody who's athletic off the edge, but is a dog. He's going to stick his nose in there in the run game. He's going to get after the quarterback in the pass game. Hard-working dude, a great person off the field. So, yeah, that's what the Dallas Cowboys are getting out of me.
How much do you pride yourself on just being so versatile?
I pride myself on it a lot because, you can't just be a one-trick pony. I think that's kind of what separates me and what separates, good and great players. So it's very, very important to be versatile.
What have the conversations been like with Matt Eberflus so far?
We haven't spoken very, very much. Obviously, on draft night, when I got the phone call, I spoke to him. But I know we got some meetings coming up here, so it'll be good to get talking to him.
Now you're getting to play on the opposite side of Micah Parsons. What is that going to be
That's
like?
got to be.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. He reached out after the draft. He said, "Let's get to work," and I said, "Let's do it." I'm excited. Having somebody that caliber on the other side of the field, it'll be very special to see. So I can't wait to get to it.
All right, well, let's do it. Donovan Ezeiruaku, everybody. Thank
Let's
you so much.
do it. Yeah, let's do it. So a little bit more about what he said, too, in another interview. They're getting somebody who is athletic off the edge, but is a dog. I loved himself referring to himself as a dog. And if you get 16 and a half sacks, 65 pressures, and like 21 tackles for loss, yeah, we can call you anything you want to be called. Dog, mule, horse, lion, I don't care. Just keep on doing it so we keep calling it. He's going to stick his nose in there in the run game, and he's going to get after the quarterback in the passing game. Hardworking dude, a great person off the field. That's what the Cowboys are getting out of me, speaking in the third person. Based on his production at Boston College, he's exactly that as well. During his time at Boston College, amassed 215 total tackles, 30 sacks, 47 tackles for loss in 47 games over 4 years. So you're getting a guy who started a lot of games. 47 games is a hell of a lot for college. So you got experience, which you definitely want to have, including 16 and a half sacks, 21 tackles for loss his senior year, earning All-American honors along the way. Of course, the big knock against him going to draft is lack of his size, 6'2", 247 pounds, edge. That said, his competitive edge and his versatility are what he believes sets him apart from the rest of the pack and will allow him to succeed in the NFL. You can't be a one-trick pony, as you just said right there. I think that's what kind of separates me and what separates good and great players. It's very important to be versatile. So, yeah, he is a little bit shorter, 6'2", 245. But of course, within about a year, you'll see him probably put on about 10 more pounds of muscle and get his man body and stuff on. But I'll remind you that Micah Parsons isn't exactly that big himself. And even Charles Haley was only like 255. So, yeah, you don't necessarily have to be huge. You got to be fast, you got to be strong, and you got to be able to work your hands and your body and keeping great balance. And looking forward to seeing this. This could be a incredible pass rush because, we have guys that we used to look at and say, oh, yeah, man, remember last year we're like, yeah, we got Sam Williams coming this year, and he's going to be a step up. And then, of course, we drafted Marshawn Needland, and we said, oh, man, he is like the second coming of D-Law. Those guys are kind of getting kicked to the side burner now that you've got Dante Fowler, you've got now Donovan Ezeiruaku going into the mix. You've got like wave after wave. And now let's knock on wood because we thought that this was going to be the case last year. We thought, did I hear something? Okay. Sounded like I heard something, or I don't know. My face whiskers get on it. What the heck? Is there a ghost in the machine? Do you guys hear something in the background? I don't know. What the heck? Okay. I don't know. Had some sound in the background. I don't know. Maybe it's some ghost down here or something. But yeah, something in the background. But you're definitely going to have a better pass rush than we've had in the past. And that's not before we even add in some of the free agents that we put in here too. The Cowboys have done some really good things, but they still have more work to do. All right, good people. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Peace out.